Okay, Josh, let's start looking at your swim stroke. First, we're going to look at it in regular speed, and then we're going to speed it up. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to slow it down. We're going to look at it in slow motion so we can kind of check out all the good things you're doing and all the stroke improvements, things that you can do better. So let's take a look at it in regular speed first and kind of see what's going on. The first thing that I noticed when looking at this, especially as you swim back toward us, is there's a tremendous amount of crossover. So as your hand is kind of entering the water, it enters beautifully, and then it kind of crosses over the center line as it pulls through. So you can kind of see that in the underwater video here. You can see how as the arm is entering the water, it's driving straight forward, which is great, but then it's kind of starting to cross over. The driving straight forward part looks really good. You have really great arm and shoulder extension. It's beautiful how your arm is going in the water at a bent angle, and then it straightens out about 6 to 8 inches under the water. So that looks really awesome. It's what happens after that that's more concerning, that we kind of want to take a look at. So let's look at it here. As you can see, when you push off, as you start to swim, you'll see a little kind of wiggle from side to side. Your hips kind of go wiggle left, and then they wiggle right, and they kind of wiggle back and forth. And all of that is basically being caused by that crossover that's happening as you're stroking. So it's very easily fixed if you can focus on the one-arm drill that we've been doing, and another drill we're going to give you next month, catch-up drill. But see how right here, as that arm pulls through, it crosses over the center line and is almost underneath you on the other side of your body, and same here with this arm. So what you want that arm to do is just like what we showed in the bands and demonstration, how you want that hand to be tracking under the center line with your fingertips basically pointing downward. So keep that under the center line and not cross over, and you should do fine on that. That's the first thing. The second thing, again, a drill we're going to pick up next month, which is called stroke timing, which is catch-up drill, is going to kind of shore up a little bit of the windmill timing, sort of one arm opposite the other. We're going to try to catch up one arm with the other generally, and we'll explain more in December when we look at that. But you can see right here that diving down of your body and the over rotation is being caused by the fact that that hand, that leading arm is kind of is diving down or driving down a little sooner than it should, especially after your breath. So we'll fix that next month, but be aware that's something we're going to talk more about. Something also that looks really good I can see here is that your hip and shoulder rotation is looking awesome. Look how nice, 30 to 45 degrees each side, even on the breath you're rotating. And for a lot of people, when they're not breathing, they don't rotate, and you do, so that's really good. So like on this one, even though you're not breathing, there's good body rotation. Look, your belly button almost pointed to the opposite side of the pool. You can see your hip rotating there. So yeah, that looks really nice. And then one question I kind of had for you was, does your head feel relaxed when you're swimming? It looks to me like you might be kind of holding your neck forward, or sort of holding your eyeballs, especially right there as you start to kind of pull through. It looks like you're sort of looking forward. What might be more helpful is to try to kind of imagine that you're just letting your head float in neutral spine. So see if you can kind of investigate that with yourself and see what you think. Meanwhile, let's take a look here at a couple of still frames that show a little bit of what we've seen in this slow motion video. And here we have the first one. You can see that crossover. Look at that right arm, how it's way underneath your body, and in fact, it's almost outside your body line on the opposite side. So that's a little incriminating. And then here's one here, same thing, crossing over, but also this is part of that catch-up where that arm that's down below you, that should be out in front. Same here, that arm is down below you, kind of digging for clams there, and it really should be pointing straight to the other end at that point in the stroke. So we'll look at that more next month with the drills, catch-up drill. But here's the 3 things that are good. Hip and shoulder rotation looks great. Kick looks pretty good and propulsive. And your hand, arm, and entry, that's your shining goal here. That looks awesome. Nice bent arm entry and extends underwater 6 to 8 inches. So that looks perfect. A lot of people have to be taught that, and you just do that naturally. Or maybe you've worked on it. Either way, it looks good. So now that was the good news. Now let's look at the not as awesome news, and that is the things you can improve, which is that the crossover after your entry is really causing some body misalignment problems and sort of a cascade of side-to-side balance issues. And that can be fixed by the one-arm drill and unco and a lot of those other things we're doing with kicking and fins. And keeping the tautness and alignment in your body. So that crossover, keep that hand working straight under your body with the bands, and that should shore up a little bit after working on that. Also, stroke time, again, catch-up drill. We're going to work on that one next month, but know that's coming. And then also my last question there is kind of, is your head relaxed? It looks to me like it's tense, and it kind of looks like you're looking forward. If you can just sort of let your head float where it naturally wants to float, and you could just do that in a float and see what that feels like. And then from there, start swimming forward without looking forward or using the muscles in your neck to lift forward. Just let your head kind of hang where it naturally wants to hang, and it should float in a good place. Anyway, it was fun to look at your video. Look forward to working with you. Good job.